to another chapter of Daemon Rising with a Smash. Last time, we just completed the second episode, Crossroads, or Crossroads as I would like to call it. Anyway, Daemon just made her second catch of the day, capturing Andrea, and Mr. Game & Watch and Matrix had to escape the desert port system in which they were trapped in by Daemon, and they had a stowaway Turbo, while Andrea was being caught by the super virus, and she just got infected. Also, Master Hand congratulated Samus on recruiting all the Smashers, but since 92% of the net has been infected along with the pathways, he figured there was no hope. But that didn't stop Samus and the Smashers yet. Oh no. There was a large audience that wished them luck. And so, with a new portal, they made their way through the web, and they're on their way en route to Mainframe. So, let's get this started. I just hope OBS wouldn't crash on me again like the last chapter. Chapter 7. What is love good for? Absolutely nothing! And this is the third episode. After the recruitment of the Smashers as well as an encouraging rally from their fellow comrades, Samus and her team were traveling through cyberspace to reach their destination, Mainframe. The bounty hunter was uncertain if she could find a way to break through the firewall Mouse laid over the system. Nevertheless, her mission was clear, as she would stand by and defend it overhead while facing off any of Daemon's infected cronies, and to protect her dear friends Bob and Akari in the process. Her ship was accompanied by two R-Wings, each piloted by Fox and Falco, the Falcon Flyer, which contained Captain Douglas Falcon and Ness, Mewtwo soaring in his blue energy, protecting himself from degradation, and the Warp Star Kirby was riding. Recently, they received a download from Akari via the principal office. Because it was exported from the enclosed system, they were able to retrieve the data they needed. She gave them a rip from one of the DVDs in the archives, which gave them a backstory on how Meryl and Matrix found out about their greatest adversary from the Prime Guardian Turbo at a saloon in the desert port system. She also presented her allies a rundown on all the Mainframe warriors while the rogue leader was summarizing them, just in case if they should ever get caught up by the super virus herself. So far, there were only the obnoxious Mike the TV and the game sprite Andrea. They were certain that the more minor ones, like Little Matrix, Hack and Slash, and even Fong, would also be a potential threat. Everybody's channels were open as they traded the info and made some suggestive plans on how they were going to deal with each of their enemies. However, from Game & Watch's stakeout to the supercomputer, which was constantly being monitored, they were unsure how they would go against Dakin and the Guardian Sentries. There wasn't much input about them, not even from the two-dimensional sprite's Gizmo. Later on, an alarm went off, signaling the spaceship there was a fleet in their way. They were attacked by some Guardian battleships. "Alright, gang, let's give them everything we got!" Her ship took the lead and fired its weaponry onto the enemy squadron. The other Smashers broke formation and engaged on the onslaught. Mewtwo used his psychic energy as a barrier to protect them from the warheads and bullets. Then, as he spread his arms, he released his telekinesis onto each of the opposing crafts. The R-Wings went in with their lasers and charge shots. Samus advised them not to use their Nova Bombs, as they cause hefty damage that are holes, resulting in possible deletion. Kirby rode on his Warp Star to distract the Guardians. The Puffball decided to mimic the genetic Pokemon's abilities to use his Shadow Balls. Finally, there was the Falcon Flyers that landed its own bullets. With their exceptional efforts, each of the ships were shot down. The vehicles, the Star and Mewtwo, received minimal damage and injury, but their war was just beginning. The once cerulean sky was gradually turning into a vile green color, and the aura was closing in on them. Everyone knew it was the super virus's infection about to assimilate them all. Samus activated an emergency call and ordered, "Split up and regroup at Mainframe! Don't let the infection touch you!" Kirby cowered behind the bounty hunter's spaceship. Captain Falcon's vessel boosted away and the Arwings accelerated just as the female did. Falcon and Ness ended up at a different system. It had Scion Sky with a shining metropolis above the energy sea. We better hurry and escape here. Oh yeah, we should. Young Prodigy saw the spreading loom closer and closer. The planet began to ripple upon entry, and little did they duo knew that they flew into the supercomputer. Meanwhile, Akari and Game & Watch observed Turbo being locked in a jail cell at the brig. Two binomes in army uniforms kept on patting their batons, awaiting for him to cunningly escape. Holding a prime guardian won't be easy. There, that should hold ya. For a while, yes. Couldn't stop smiling. It was eerie even for the two women. I hate the way you keep smiling at us. So do I. I have heard the word. I am at peace. Ray has heard the word too, Mouse. What? Kari had a bad feeling about this. Trying to trick the hacker so she can get infected and lower Mainframe's defenses. What did you say? The surfer. He awaits for you with my lady. All you have to do is drop the firewall and he will fly into your arms. Can it, Turbo? Daemon's got Ray. And Andrea. Mouse, I know. Only made her mood even worse. We've got to do something. Mouse, we need to talk to Turbo now. Talking ain't gonna get any of our friends back. Kari couldn't agree more. She was growing more and more nervous as she dreaded that the amount of victims would keep climbing. Still, she managed to keep her cool. Samus depended on her. Mouse! Let her go, Bob. We'll deal with it later. Turbo was ecstatic. That made Akari and Game & Watch cringe. Bob? It's true. You are one with your key tool. You are my lady's messenger. Messenger? He stepped closer. His enthusiasm became more evident. You were right, Bob. There are benign viruses. Viruses that are good. This proves all of your theories. Theories? Of what? That viruses can't be deleted? She was very pissed about it. She always hated that fact, which is why she could relate to Matrix even for that one trait alone. He is secure, isn't he? Where is his key tool? Copeland. His key tool is called Copeland. Ma'am, Mouse gave him a thorough search, and we do mean thorough. He didn't have a Copeland. That's impossible. When a key tool joins with a guardian, we exchange code. Copeland must be with him. For Turbo is incomplete. Bob, you are the only complete guardian. You are the messenger. Once my lady has you, everyone will hear the word. This made both Dot and Akari furious. They both gave him expressions of disgust. Well, I've heard quite enough. Do it! His golden black icon started to glow. Akari and Game & Watch couldn't believe what was happening. Chest shot out a volley of energy, forcing Turbo toward the back wall. His body looked like it was being electrocuted. Hark! No! My lady! The word! Game & Watch fitted between the bars and made a few slaps across his face, till the cure was no more. Turbo's body fell with a thud as Game & Watch headed out. Bob began to fade more and he sank to the floor. Dot, Akari, and Smasher surrounded him. You okay? Yeah. Is he cured? Not entirely, but I can fight her control now. It was just as Akari saw him when he was explaining to Matrix about Daemon, although Akari and Game & Watch had their doubts. Turbo, what is Daemon's function? To bring unity to the entire net. Unity? Why is Bob Daemon's messenger? As Daemon's infection grew out, the key tools left us. Bob is now the only one to create portals. I knew it. No, She can't use the Guardians to get to the closed or offline systems, Bob. She needs you to complete her function. Then she'll get you. Nothing can stop her. No, I wouldn't bet on that. Kari felt her larynx was about to burst. There was a part of her that wanted to unveil her and Samus's plan. It took much of her composure to hold back the urge to speak and spoil everything. As the duo left, she and the Black Sprite were treading behind them. Elsewhere, the remainders of the Guardian Collective were attempting to break the seal over Mainframe. They were lucky they hadn't met their demise just yet. Go to level 7. Try 8. It's just a miscellaneous Guardian. Green beam from the firewall disruptor was shooting toward it, and there was still no luck. Just then the former Prime Guardian appeared in a hologram. Dagon, you should have hacked into that system seconds ago. We're already at level 8, Dagon. We've never needed to pass 3 before this. There's no way through. That is not good enough. Our Lady has a schedule to keep. I cannot accept failure. Akari alerted Samus and her teammates on Turbo's condition and the fact that Bob could heal the infected, but only partially. Guardian's Code was the only way to save those who were obsessed with the word. The Guardian can only do so much. We're on our way to Mainframe now, and the infection is on our 6. We've already lost the Falcon Flyer. I'm afraid of what's becoming of them. Oh no! I hope Ness and Falcon will be alright. Even I'm not sure why Bob couldn't heal Turbo. It won't be long before Daemon's control will be prominent again. I'll have Game & Watch spy on him for the moment. Just be careful, guys. You too. Samus out. As Daemon ended his disproving report, he saw through some stained glass windows and strange starship landed. Ness and Falcon arrived outside the tower, and the flyer lowered the hatch, grabbed his staff with a snort, and walked out and used it like a cane. It's Dagon, my bad. Falcon Flyer unleashed the Blue Falcon. You see that, Ness? That's where we need to go. Figured their best chance to win would take control of the functions within the supercomputer. What if Daemon, Mike, or Andrea should find us? Then we'll have to escape. I'm quite confident the Blue Falcon will be able to avoid the infection, as it can go up to 2,000 kilometers an hour. Whoa! They were nearing the central chamber. Falcon and Ness were ambushed by a very lethal group. They at first thought they were ninjas of sorts as they emerged from the shadows. Met the Guardian sentries, wearing silvery masks and all that. Now, I wasn't sure how they would fight, so I kind of made this up. They hopped out of the cockpit. Falcon made a fighting pose while Ness drew out his baseball bat. Bring it on! They prepared for battle. Some of the sentries ran toward Falcon and Ness from both sides. The boy swapped them with hard hits from his bat, which caused just a couple sentries to fly back. They were light but resilient, and their blades kept slashing against them. He also used his yo-yo for sweeping. As they formed into clusters, Ness used a special attack known as the PK Blast. This stunned some of the sentries as they got blinded by the light, while others had made contact, sending them a few inches. Ness also conjured the PK fire to burn his enemies for a short while. This was perfect for his bat as he continually whacked them after being burned. It was also good for Falcon to land a hit for his charging Falcon punch as well. Ness even made some sparks from his head after he grabbed and tossed the sentries even after he jumped. Although the Brainiac had to be careful as he became vulnerable. Ugh, sadly, that's how Ness is in the games. Clearly he was a person with high intellect, not much of a brawler. Falcon was more balanced, though. Only his glaring issue was making his signature mark. Other than that, well, actually, it's true the original is a lot faster in the original game than anything else. Other than that, his moves are swift and crisp, which much like how his own machine operated. And there's that. His Falcon kick was a decent sweeper. Sentries never escaped into the air thanks to his fast and lethal Falcon kiss. Despite their advantages, they had some trouble. Ness couldn't use his side magnet since there were no projectiles he can generate as healing. So they were just stuck in an open battlefield. Both Ness and Falcon had to be conservative as there were little to no chance on recovering. This was like an endurance test rather than just blowing the sentries away. Kinda like the stamina match. They actually did. Some soared into space, while others had their bodies splattered toward the tower's exterior. With their fascinating teamwork, they cleared the way. The two high-fived each other, and the victory was interrupted by a loud landing that was enough to shake the ground. It was Dakin! And I made him up, too. Ness intervened and activated the magnet. There's a plasma beam. The lethal energy instantly turned into health as it restored the boy's vitality. It made Dakin vulnerable to another Falcon punch. That made his right arm very sore. You will pay for that! The duo ready for anything. You seem to be very fine warriors. It'd be a shame to have you deleted. How about you join me in the word? Ness and Falcon looked at him quizzically. He tapped the staff. Oh no! Run! He and the others ran straight toward his racer. He tossed Ness into the back seat and he leapt into the cockpit, fired up the engines, and sped away at the speed of sound. It avoided many obstacles and energy shots from Dakin's staff until the alarm indicated the infection was just mere inches. Falcon had no choice. He steered the machine off the ledge, crashed through a wall, and he plummeted toward the energy sea. Ness screamed for mercy, but the bounty hunter summoned his ship. Come on! Snapped a finger, and believe it or not, it was from Smash Bros. Brawl. Huh. So much for being time relevant, but I had to do this. Dakin just looked up somberly as they left, letting his so-called servants away. By the time the Falcon broke through, his ship shook. Thankfully, the duo weren't infected as it made contact. Meanwhile, Daemon and Andrea were completely oblivious to the chaos. The supervirus was on her throne listening to the game sprite. You should have seen him. On our first date together, he was so brave. He said he was a guardian showing off, trying to impress the girl. I never believed him, of course, but I took in everything he'd said. Then I realized I was in love. It was love at first sight. Yes, I can understand love, but I cannot go against my code. Dakin went in. My lady. Dakin, do you love me? Why, of course, my lady. We all love you. You are the word. That's not the same thing. I have bad news, my lady. We cannot break the encryption codes on the firewall that block our paths to Mainframe. That'll be Mouse. She's very good. This is a hacker that works for them? And the virus. Moreover, there were two fighters, a racer and a kid with psychic powers that defeated all our guardian sentries and escaped from infection. In the episode, nothing happens, but you don't see them for some reason. So, they got what was coming to them. Now we need our messenger. How did that turn out? I have failed you, my lady. Ugh, this is one of the worst parts that she has ever done. Clone 101. 101. 100. 11. 1001. Oh. His body dissipated as he decompiled. The green infected essence still remained. The staff collapsed onto the floor and Daemon raised a hand to absorb Dakin into her. This filled her with more power and an intriguing ounce of energy. She walked back to her perch showing no remorse after vaporizing the loyal general of her guardian army. I hate Daemon! She shows no remorse at all. Drea was just speechless until she asked, Please, tell me what it's like to be in love. So she was more than happy to tell her everything. I've heard from Captain Falcon. He and Ness escaped the supercomputer. That was a close call. I'm sure it was. Falcon and his machine are super fast. I'm glad they're safe. For now. But I have some bad news. I lost the two R-Wings. Fox, Younglink, and Falco are on the road now. Oh, great! Suddenly, a firewall over Mainframe was temporarily online. Mouse and Matrix soared through the tear in her aircraft. While the hole was open, it was just enough time for Fox's R-Wing to approach it. The leader was startled, but he was thankful they didn't notice him and his partner. Apparently they had some other agenda and never cared for their arrival. He activated the cloaking device his amphibian pal Slippy invented, like in the event match in Venom. He steered his ship toward the Kid sector. Mainframe is online again, but Mouse and Matrix have exited the system. I'm afraid she has all the encryption codes to reveal its address. If she gets infected, she would... Yeah, I know. I'm sure Matrix will get infected as well. He hates viruses, yes, but he could be too arrogant to fight Daemon. After all, she's a super virus. She could easily surpass him. Wait a nano. I see something going in. It's Fox. Fox? What's he doing here? I'm going after them. They may need my help. Perhaps you're right, but I've just found out something. What? Have you known about Bob? About when he merged with Glitch? Yeah, it was the only way to surpass Mouse's web creature defenses so we can get to Mainframe. Exactly. Do you remember Glitch getting damaged? Yeah, it was crushed by Megabyte before Bob was shot into the web. I believe that's why he's growing so weak all the time. He joined with a defective key tool. It wasn't fully functional at the time. The more he uses his glitch powers, the more chances he'll get a total fragmentation. Meaning, he could delete himself completely if he uses too much. It's actually possible Bob could die after drawing too much off of his own newfound abilities. They needed to find another way to cure the infected in such large quantities. Still, Akari went to check on Fox. Meanwhile, Matrix entered the clock tower and loaded his pistols to such deadly stats. Gun. Landline. Sight shifted and the red target glowed. Targeting. High X. Mark met the forehead as the lights turned on. It was only Andrea. Hi, lover. They rushed over and made a short embrace. Matrix disregarded the deep infections. I missed you. I'll never leave you again. Never! There's someone you got to meet. You have to get out of here. My lady. It was her up against the ceiling. Hello, Matrix. I heard so much about you. Apparently she did, 'cause the bullet was no use. Like she stopped it in her telekinesis, and she made it explode in her hand. It didn't affect her, and she just blew it away. It was nothing. She casually absorbed the explosion and just blew the bullet into dust. Your weapons are useless here. Obviously. Samus was right after all. There was Mouse with the katana, but it shattered. The blade shattered on her neck. Both she and Matrix looked at Gog, and Daemon unleashed her fury, making the blade and gun drop. In a few nanos, they succumbed to her lust. My lady. Welcome home, lover. Now we are as one, and in love. And are you? My lady, I am so sorry. Forgive me. Nobody emerged. Matrix! Mouse! Hey, good to see ya! Oh, glorious! We are reunited! And it feels so good. I hate you, Mike! Mouse, is that you? Yes, my lady. Your encryption codes are beautiful. Works of art. She succumbed deeper to her code. Unexpectedly, Game & Watch's camera was picking up the whole thing. Samus was on the receiving end, the bitter end of the stick. Ugh! On top of that, the net's infection was spreading more rapidly, and Mainframe would soon be the next target. Back at the brig, Daemon watched anxiously listening to Turbo's begs. You have to find a way to destroy her. You out of all sprites know I can't do that. Smasher glanced and sneered at him, though he couldn't see it. Bob, this isn't the time for your theories. This isn't a small sealed system we're talking about. It's the entire net. Face it, Mainframe was an experiment that didn't work. Didn't work? Have you seen Hexadecimal? She's cured. And Megabyte? I contained him, and I find the right time to reprogram him. You don't believe me he could turn. You haven't really changed, have you? After what his Genesis did to Mainframe's Twin City? After what he did to your partner? There was actually a flashback of Kilobyte in the supercomputer. He was with another Guardian named Dixon. So, I don't know if I think she's actually a cadet, not a full-fledged Guardian, even though she had a glitch at the time. I don't know. She wouldn't last. Bob kept calling for help, but she was deleted within a few nanos. Glitch immediately attached itself to Bob and uploaded the codes to him. There was one agenda on his mind. Glitch, system scan, track and lock on Kilobyte. And this is where you will hear Bob's original voice actor. He was just returning from Los Angeles. It was a virus that was born from an explosion due to Wellman's failed attempt to search and link to another system to prove his theory that Mainframe isn't the only one floating freely in cyberspace. That was when the Twin City was destroyed, like Enzo said. Glitch's scans fed Bob to Mainframe. I can't believe so much has changed since then. The net has grown exponentially. It's becoming more impossible to police. In a strange way, Daemon was right. What? She's trying to bring order to chaos. Now isn't that our prime function? She wants unity, one voice, one way. The net is supposed to be varied, diverse. Maybe it's too diverse. That's the infection talking. You have to fight it. As did Daemon watch, perhaps Akari's worries and Samus's have been justified. Bob, why didn't you cure me? Why? Apparently, Guardian 452 was also just as nervous as they were. Little did he know that the real fight was about to begin with Daemon and Samus's candidates on the way. Mainframe was about to be the ultimate battlefield for the fate of the entire net. Isn't it strange that Captain Falcon has a blaster and never uses it? Come on, Sakurai, get on that, damn it. The way he summoned the Falcon Flyer was, of course, from Brawl. There are the songs for that. I had those ideas for quite a while, and the story was on a long hiatus. I don't think there's anything too significant. The longest time I wondered how the Smashers even knew Akari. I knew them from the original and Melee as well as some of the other games, but I can't be sure how they were able to know her personally. However, I could picture her Pokemon being involved in the tourneys, such as, Pikachu and all that. When the war starts, there will be some exceptions, though. Oh, here's the link to, I guess I'll show you the Guardian's secret. I don't know. Several years back, my ideas for each opponent for the Smashers has always been on a constant debate. I even kept remembering fragments for each of the fights, especially with Falcon and Ness versus Dakin and the Sentries. It's quite an unlikely pairing. I wanted to set up the brawl as sort of a lightweight match, like the ones with the wireframe models. Because it was inside the supercomputer, it'd be easier to obtain items later on. So episode 3 and Daemon Rising has come to a close. The real fun will soon begin. And I just hope that OBS Studios won't crash on me. I really want to do this. So stand by, guys.